I mean, look, it's the congressional GOP. It's the House GOP. If the House GOP is under any illusion that Donald Trump's fall in the polls won't bring them down as well, they are living on Fantasy Island.
Next speaker is Danielle Carter.
So, Brandon, you and all these Democratic mayors out here and governors, y'all talking about crashing out for these illegals, right? You all stood up there and said you will not allow Trump to come in here and get these illegals. Yeah, you can smile. We're in $1 billion deficit. And you spent half of our money, half of that, on illegals. You campaign and double down that you would not raise property taxes. I ain't gonna do that. You campaign went around doing that. And here we are right now. You wanted to raise our taxes $300 million. They shut it down. Now we back here for $150 million. Okay. See, this is what we asking now. Since you want to crash out, some of y'all say y'all willing to go to jail for it. Trump, Tom Homan, make an example out this Negro right here first. Please come here first.
Island, what are we talking about here? Let's take a look at the generic congressional ballot. Democrats versus Republicans. We have 3 polls out within the last few weeks. What do they all show? They all show the Democrats up by 2 points in the CNBC poll. The Fox News poll that was out on Friday, look at that, Democrats up by 7. The New York Times poll that was out this Friday as well, Democrats by 3. And keep in mind, the House GOP won the popular vote back in 2024 by a little less than 3 percentage points. So when you see 3, 7, 2, averaging 4, that is a tremendous shift. That is a shift of 7 points from the November 2024 elections away from the GOP to the House Democrats. Donald Trump.
Federal authorities in Los Angeles announced the takedown of a Guatemalan criminal organization responsible for one of the largest human smuggling operations in the United States. On Friday, agents arrested Eduardo Domingo Renault Matul and Cristobal Mejia Chai, both illegal immigrants from Guatemala, for allegedly moving more than 20,000 migrants into the U.S. since 2019. The Border Patrol says agents noticed illegal Guatemalan immigrants being transported with large amounts of cash.
This was more than just a regional smuggling organization. This was a complex, coast-to-coast smuggling organization.
Authorities say the group charged migrants up to $18,000 to get from Guatemala to the Arizona border. The smugglers would then hold the migrants in stash houses in Phoenix and Los Angeles before relocating them around the country, often keeping migrants hostage for months in this LA neighborhood if they didn't pay the transport fees. Also charged, Jose Pastor Oxley, who was already behind bars for killing 7 immigrants, including 3 children, in a 2023 car crash in Oklahoma that happened during a transport from New York to Los Angeles. Another suspect, Elmer Obispo Hernandez, is on the run after authorities say he threatened to kill a federal agent.
While search warrants were being executed in Los Angeles on Friday, he telephoned a member of the investigative team and threatened to kill that agent and his family members by cutting off their heads.
Where are we seeing this shift in a most pronounced way? Where are we seeing it? We've spoken about it, Mr. Berman. We're talking about independence. This is how you know that Trump is bringing down the House GOP. Look at Trump's net payroll rating. In October of 2024, according to the New York Times, it was minus 9 points. Look at where it is now, minus 30 points among independents. That's horrific. That's historically awful. Take a look at the generic ballot. In October of 2024, the Democrats were ahead, but only by 3, well within the margin of error.
These criminals can break into your country, commit all the crimes in the world, kill your kids, and we're going to let them out. So just suck it up, right? And it's a humiliation ritual. But the families fear, even if he is deported, he's just going to re-enter the U.S. as a gotaway, as he's done twice before. 6 to think about.
This individual was twice deported, but was allowed back into our country by the previous administration, took the lives of 2 young Americans, and is now barely facing any consequences.
California made the shocking decision to release this dude, seen here on the left, who's responsible for the death of these 2 people on the right. sick story and a tragedy and crime to the max. But what's going on in California, and is this dude going to walk free? Turns out the DOJ, the feds, has said we're not going to let the state get away with this, and they're going to turn around and indict him. We'll share what they've said about this. But the story was broken by Bill Malugin. He's over with Fox News. He says, the families of 2 teens killed by an illegal alien who crashed into them while drunk, high, and speeding at 100 miles per hour in Orange County, California in 2021 have been told by the state of California that their killer will be released from prison early in July. Imagine that, mom, dad, family, dude who killed your kids and is going to be out soon. Just 3.5 years into a 10-year sentence for killing the teens who both burned alive, just in case you missed that. Someone should tell Senator Van Hollen maybe he can go have some mojitos with this.
Look at where they are now, up 17 points. There is no way on God's green earth that the Republicans can hold on to the House of Representatives if they lose independence by 17 percentage points. My goodness gracious, this is what dreams are made of if you're House Democrats, and it's all being driven, or at least in large part being driven, by Donald Trump's rapid drop with independence.
What does history tell us about how a party does heading into a midterm with the type of lead the Democrats have right now?
Yeah, okay, so I went back through history.
But I want to say one thing to the American people. I want you to listen to me. I'm going to say this again. I did not have sexual relations with that woman, Miss Lewinsky. I never told her.
Are you sure about that?
My goodness gracious, this is what dreams are made of if you're House Democrats, and it's all being driven, or at least in large...
Nicole Coco, okay, so how do you feel about Donald Trump being president right now? Is he doing good? Is he doing bad?
Actually, I think he's doing exactly what he needs to be doing because as far as the black community, we've put a lot of blame on certain figures that, are easy to blame or easy to look up to, and we have this messiah complex, like we victimize ourselves a lot. And so I feel like Donald Trump is making it pretty obvious that Democrats don't really do what they are supposed to be doing when they do have the power, because he goes in and does what he wants to do, and they panicking right now, but what are y'all doing to actually make things better so people don't have to feel like they have to vote for Donald Trump? So,
yeah. And then you bring up a great point about the Democrats, because that's why they have a 19% approval rating as we speak right now, because they don't really have a policy plan. Now, you got people like Jasmine Crockett, AOC, like, yeah, they can scream and yell all they want and all of these communist, socialist, Marxist ideologies, but at the end of the day, what is that really doing for the people of America? So you bring up a great point. And one last thing. If anybody can run in 2028, who would you consider running for 2028?
I'm definitely not J.B. Pritzker. I can say who I don't want to see.
That's right.
Jasmine Crockett, I don't want to see J.B. Pritzker. I know they got AOC out there, running. Republicans really need to come up with a strong candidate, because honestly, it's so many people leaving the Democratic Party because they see like the violence and the chaos that they are causing intentionally on Americans, and it's not really the party of tolerance like they claim to be. So if a strong Republican or independent candidate came out, they really got the whole floor open to them.
Absolutely.
Rapid drop with independence.
What does history tell us about how a party does?
Well, let's just say this. Biden made a mess of this country. And so Donald Trump is trying to solve and remedy and fix everything that Biden messed up. And let me tell you, there was a lot. He's just been there, 100 days? And look how much he has done in 100 days to undo all the damage that Biden and his whole administration has done. And so I'm just going to talk about the illegal immigration that Biden allowed. Let's just understand the reason they did that was to get as many Democrat voters out of those illegal aliens as possible. It was not about helping people. It was about getting more power and increasing their power in Congress and in the White House. They wanted all the swing states to flip blue, and not only flip blue, but stay blue.
You bring up a good point when it comes to Joe Biden bringing the illegals here, turning them blue, because a lot of people don't know that 27 out of 50 states, they don't require a photo ID to
So I
vote.
went back through history, right, and I looked at the opposition minority party. That, of course, is the Democrats right now. They're a minority in the House of the opposition, the party in the White House, Donald Trump, a Republican. The average House seats won by the opposition minority party, 234 when leading the generic ballot this early by at least 4 percentage points. That happened in 2006 and 2018. 2 huge Democratic years. Democrats love this number, of course.
Well, first of all, the judges probably can set Zoom hearings. It's in their discretion. I doubt that that alone would bring further legal action. But what Judge Dugan did here is far more direct and arguably criminal. You know, she got down from the bench and became part of what the law enforcement officials are saying is a pattern of illegality. I mean, she helped this person evade arrest. And we've seen this before. In Boston in 2019, I wrote about a judge who actively helped secrete a fugitive so that he would not be arrested. She was ultimately charged, but under the Biden administration, they just dropped those charges. And many of us were very critical of that because we thought the intent was clear. And so what people have to distinguish here is between the role of the judge and what she did. She was not acting as a judge at that point. She was acting as an individual who was helping the evasion of law enforcement. And what I find perplexing is I understand waiting for the facts to come out. We just got more facts about witnesses who said that this was intentional and the actions that the judge did. But what's concerning are all these Democratic leaders saying that she is this martyr. Well, if it's true that she actively secreted an individual, actively evaded law enforcement, how is that part of the judicial function? Many of us have said that we need mutual respect between the judicial and executive branches, but it goes both ways. She has to earn that respect by reinforcing her role as a judge, not as...
American history lesson. You don't know nothing about Lady Liberty. Standing there in the harbor with her torch on high, screaming out to all the nations in the world, send me your poor, your deadbeats, your filthy. And all the nations sent them in here. I'm swarming in like ants. Your Spanish PRs from California. Your Jacks, your Chinamen, your Krauts and your Higgs. And come in here. And they're all free to live in their own separate sections. Where they feel safe, and they bust your head if you go in there. That's what makes America great, buddy.
We said months ago, we'll see if history repeats. We do, but this is an answer to the question is, why does it matter what these numbers show right now, 100 days into the presidency? Well, there's some history. It's exactly right. Oftentimes the genetic ballot actually is quite predictive.